The following is not suitable for children under the age of 18. This show contains coarse language and sexual themes that may be deemed over the top, as well as my own personal views. Please note all characters of the show are fiction and are not targets of anyone or anything, but are made up for complete satire. Masters, and welcome to the Sky Genie Show, the absolute worst show ever. We are on episode 22 of the Sky Genie Show, and I am feeling it good. And no, not like the ad revenue, who take it in the ass from strangers, but the love from my masters, who is growing and expanding, just like John Cena's cock after a 5-knuckle shuffle. But not like old man Vince. I mean, let's face it. 70 years old, probably suffers from what most men suffer at his age, erectile dysfunction. How we got onto that? Well, the ad net revenue needs some material too, you know. If you are a true master of my show, then please join me in telling that ad revenue to go fuck themselves. Let your voice be heard by telling those ad revenue cunts to fuck off. We are hopefully in for a good show today. On this episode of the Sky Genie Show, we got the continuation of the World Tag Leagues, as well as 205. I decided to do that separate books because, you know, you got Raw, SmackDown, plus I'm doing the World Tag Leagues, still dividing them up. So I figure, let's break it up a bit. One thing I gotta say, aren't we fucking glad there isn't a WWE pay-per-view this weekend? Now, I can't be the only one that thinks that. Even the ad revenue have to agree to that. Or you just keep posting hateful shit for no reason, for no care in the world that really, all you guys giving me ad revenue. Something along those lines. But that don't mean work with me is going to be any easier. This weekend I will be recording more holiday editions of the Sky Genie Show, as the first one I kinda threw together. I pretty much plan on doing a heap of them. Even a few leftovers, just in case there happens to be a point in time that it happens. As I like to do 2 or 3 shows a week, each being different than the last in terms of reviews. Hell, maybe all of it. But I like to thank you all for listening to my show. So please, sit back and relax. Enjoy a drink or whatever you happen to be doing when listening to podcasts, and enjoy the show. You can check us out on various platforms at our website, skygenieshow.weebly.com. There you'll find show archives of past shows, as well as bloopers, extras, as well as my own wishful thinking thought blog posts. Those you'll find exclusive, with some topics and thoughts that I don't make on the show, and it's totally free to go to. On Facebook, the Sky Genie Show page. There you can join in discussions with whatever you want to talk about in pro wrestling or on the show or whatever. I'm pretty much freelance. But if you're a douchebag, I kick you out or I don't accept you. Either way. On Twitter, I'm at SDD916. There, I give show updates of what's going on with the show, with recordings, if I go to announce something, I usually announce it on Twitter. On Instagram, it's Sky Genie _1988. If you'd like to support the show, go to the homepage here on YouTube on my channel, and you will find a donation button. Your donations to the show go to improve audio quality and everything else about the show. I would like to give the first shout out to Sensible Sam, who donated towards the show, and I would like to say thank you. For those wanting an update on Genie Jr, I don't give a flying fuck what happened to him. I don't. As I said last episode, I kicked him the fuck out. I don't care if he lives, I don't care if he dies, I don't care if he gets hit by a fucking bus. Fuck you, Genie Jr. Get the fuck out of my life and stay there. And after the break, some wrestling news. If you're looking for a very professional show to listen to the Solomonster Sounds off. His show, smokes this one entirely, is a very informative show. Join Jason Solomon as he gives his thoughts on the current events of professional wrestling. Catch his show on Podbean, Stitcher or iTunes. Also check out Jason Solomon's YouTube page where he does extras for pay-per-view shows or interviews with wrestlers in the business. Jason has interviewed the likes of Diamond Dallas Page, Bob Hardcore Holly, the legendary Jim Ross, and even Booker T. Definitely a show worth checking out. And all these good podcasts out there, you wouldn't think they fuck up a lot. Well, think again. I have a show for you. Yes, the Sky Genie. Make sure to check out the Blooper Show. The Blooper Show is made up of clips. Just like then. You can tell I fuck up a lot. So I get all clips that I fuck up on, put them together, and make a show based on being a fuck up. And I call it the Blooper Show. Check it out on my channel. Although the show may not be common, try to pick the good ones and put them in. At least getting a decent show. So check out the Blooper Show today. For interesting discussion and debates on professional wrestling, check out Johnny Florida, Michael Corvin, and Old Man Jenkins on Wrestling's National Committee. They talk a wide range of topics on the world that is pro wrestling. Check them out on Wednesday at 9 p.m. on Mixlr. Welcome back, and now for some news. Linda McMahon was named as the head of Small Business Administration for President-elect Donald Trump, because Linda McMahon clearly has a history of helping small business, don't she? Booker T has announced that he plans to run for mayor of Houston in 2019. I hope Booker T does well in his campaign, but the one issue that might hold him back is that he has a criminal history. But as in the era of Donald Trump as US President, I guess nothing is off limits. Jerry Lawler and Lita were removed from the pre-show and WWE television as a whole. While Jerry Lawler has gone to a Legends deal, Lita has apparently been released from the company. No word of this has come out yet from Lita's point. If we get one, I'll update it. Alberto Del Rio apparently beat up a Ninja Turtle at an indie event. Apparently one of them was touching Paige inappropriately. I don't know, maybe one of the turtles saw Shredder or something and went to save her life. Ever thought of that, Del Rio? Master Shredder? Shad Gaspard stopped an armed robber at a local gas station. I honestly hope while beating the kid up, Shad just whispered in his ear and said, "You're stealing my gimmick, man." Kevin Owens reportedly made a kid cry at a house show. A kid happened to be wearing Roman Reigns attire, and Kevin Owens went over and made the kid cry. And the mother was outraged, so she went to social media, I guess on Twitter and Facebook and so on. People believe she's just looking for free shit, and hey, maybe somebody should sit her down and tell her what a heel does. Don't go too far. After the break, other reviews of the World Tag League Finals and WWE Road Block. For fans of the Sky Genie Show, please also make sure to check out Wrestling Soup. They drop at 9:30 on Thursday. Join hosts Anthony Missionary Thomas and Joey Numbers as they lightheartedly talk about what that's happening in professional wrestling, as well as other current events. While over there, please make sure to check out the Saturday morning shitbox. Have your voice and question heard as Mish and Joey answer questions on their thoughts of professional wrestling or anything else going around in the world. That show drops on Saturday morning-ish. The weeks it doesn't air is because they're doing pay-per-view Sunday. Yes, whenever there's a WWE pay-per-view, Mish and Joey usually review it, sometimes with John Draper. They also have shows on Stitcher and iTunes. If you want to catch the boys live, check them out on Mixlr. For my masters who are wondering if there will be Sky Genie shows throughout the Christmas New Year period. So sorry. Not for the normal show, but check out the holiday edition of the Sky Genie Show. There you will find I review old wrestling shows from the past. I review them to today's standards. And to make it interesting, I won't even know what I'm reviewing until I do it. Of course, I'll know before you, because I have to record the fucking thing, don't I? But it's filled with gags and more as well. So check out the holiday edition of the Sky Genie Show right here on my channel here on YouTube. For fans of the show, please also check out the Don Tony and Kevin Castle show. Don Tony and Kevin Castle show is a hard-hitting, with brutal honesty type show as they give their views on the world of professional wrestling and WWE. They're also on Stitcher and iTunes. If you want to catch them live, listen to them on Mixlr. Are you looking for a good laugh? Then check out Getting the Corner. Getting Dark Corner. Dark Corner. Dark Corner. With hosts Yuck Nasty and Dogger Baby. Every Wednesday night at 9 p.m. on Mixlr. Check them out on Wednesdays at 9 p.m. on Mixlr. And now for the wrestling reviews. And now for the review of the finals of the World Tag League for New Japan Pro Wrestling. Now, there were a few more days that went on with this, but because I am way behind and I really couldn't be stuffed going back looking for it, I decided let's just go right to the finals. So, we begin. Jushin Liger and Tiger Mask take on Taguchi and Jay White. It was a good opening match, with Taguchi and Jay White getting the win. Yujiro Takahashi and Bad Luck Fale took on Nakaishi and Hene. It's Japanese, stick ya. But it was a kind of boring match. Nothing worth noting. And Bullet Club win this one. We then had Yoshitatsu and Billy Gunn versus Bone Soldier and Chase Owens. It was a good, decent match. Even Billy Gunn looked pretty good. Yoshitatsu and Billy Gunn win the match. We then had War Machine versus Race and Breaker. Now, I've been pretty hard on the Race and Breaker team. A lot of the time during the tournament, they weren't really that good. But in this match, they were really great in this match. Hansen, who has to be over 300 pounds, went to the top turnbuckle, and where everyone's fighting amongst the entranceway, he does a big halo coming off top, and I'm thinking, if I was the person in the way of that, I'd be shitting myself, really. Again, great match, with War Machine getting the win. We then had a 6-man with Sonata, Bushi and Evil versus Tenzan, Kojima and Yuji Nagata. Now, this was a good match, with Sonata, Bushi and Evil getting the win. Kenny Omega comes out and grabs a microphone. He wants to mention the name of who is the newest member of the Bullet Club, but because the fans don't speak English that well, it wouldn't matter what he said, so he's decided to put a video together, because videos work. As the video plays, there's a man in silhouette, and he's lighting a cigar. He calls himself the American Nightmare. He is Cody Rhodes, and he's coming at Wrestle Kingdom 11. After intermission, we then had Goto and Yoshihashi versus Shibata and Juice Robertson. It was a good, solid match, and it's leading for Goto to challenge Shibata for the Never Championship at Wrestle Kingdom. Goto and Yoshihashi win the match. We then had Tanahashi and Kushida versus Naito and Rush. It was a good, brutal match when Kamatachi interfered. He's the redhead Asian guy that's been in Ring of Honor as of late. He causes Tanahashi and Kushida the match, so Naito and Rush are the winners. After the match, it's revealed that Kamatachi has joined Naito's group. We then had Okada and Ishii versus Kenny Omega and Hangman Page. It was a good match, with Okada and Ishii getting the win. After the match, Omega attacks Okada from behind, hits him and Gedo with his finisher and leaves. And then we get to the main event, the finals of the tournament. Because originally I thought it was a single elimination tournament, but apparently it was a round robin tournament, which means it's a point system. It's Makabe and Honma versus the Gorillas of Destiny. Now, this is a really good, crazy brawl of a match. There were a few table spots and a whole lot of drama. When it was all said and done, Makabe and Honma win and become 2-time winners of the World Tag Leagues, as well as back-to-back winners. After the match, they presented the trophies and challenged the Gorillas of Destiny to the tag team titles at Wrestle Kingdom. Overall, it was an awesome show, with most of the matches leading to the next show, something you don't see in WWE very often. Definitely making me want to see Wrestle Kingdom, which I'm going to watch. And now we have Road Block. I actually missed the pre-show, so I won't worry about that. We had the Tag Team Championships with New Day versus Cesaro and Sheamus. This was an awesome match with so much into it. Cesaro and Sheamus get the win and are now the new tag team champions of Raw, breaking New Day's record reign. Backstage is Kevin Owens, who was asked by the interview chick 2 completely dumb questions. After that, Jericho comes in. Kevin Owens offers him a present. It's a scarf, but Jericho throws it on the ground and leaves. We then had Sami Zayn versus Braun Strowman. Sami Zayn needed to last 10 minutes against Braun Strowman to win the match. I liked the match. The drama was there. The wrestling was not so great, but it didn't need to be. Mick Foley came down with a towel. Strowman urged Mick Foley to throw it in, but Sami Zayn grabbed it and threw it away. Sami Zayn wins by lasting the 10 minutes. We then had Chris Jericho versus Seth Rollins in an outstanding match. The crowd was hot all the way through it, with both men looking great. Seth Rollins gets the win after Kevin Owens causes a distraction for Chris Jericho. We then had the Cruiserweight Championship, a triple threat match with Rich Swann, Brian Kendrick and TJ Perkins. This was a terrible fucking match, and nobody gave a fuck, not even me, but Rich Swann retained. After the match, Neville comes out, turns heel by attacking Rich Swann and TJ Perkins. Well, attacking TJ Perkins isn't really a heel turn for me. Ha ha ha. We had a backstage segment with Kevin Owens talking to Chris Jericho's door, begging to talk to him, but when Jericho doesn't come out, Owens assumes the friendship is over. We then had the Women's Championship match, a 30-minute Iron Man match. I wanted to say Iron Maiden, but oh well. Well, I guess I just did. The match ended in a draw with two falls each, but it was restarted under sudden death rules. With Iron Man matches, you kind of have to expect a slower match. You're not going to have big fancy flippy moves or a shitload of action for 30 minutes. You're going to get slow, worked out wrestling with probably the last 5 minutes is where it picks up. But that does not change that this match was not completely boring, which it was. But I have to wonder if the feud was stretched out a bit. In case I forget, Charlotte wins the championship, making her a 4-time champion. So, to my point, feuds in wrestling, long-time feuds, does not have to be every month. Sometimes you can draw it out for a long time. And I'll go back to Triple H and Shawn Michaels. Between 2002 to 2006, they feuded on and off constantly. Had I think at least one WrestleMania involving the two. Of course, that match had He Who Shall Not Be Named. Fuck it, it was Chris Benoit. I'm not WWE. Fuck you. Anyway, the reason why that feud sort of lasted, besides that Shawn Michaels is a fucking awesome wrestler, they didn't have it every month. Like, they would have a tag team match involving Shawn Michaels and Triple H, but every so often, Triple H would go to face a Booker T, or a Goldberg, or a Kevin Nash, or a somebody. The same with Shawn Michaels, which is what I think they should have done with Charlotte and Sasha Banks, is have the SummerSlam match, but have somebody else to feud with in between, then go to Survivor Series. And so on. Now the problem here, where does Sasha Banks go from here? And all along I thought that this match should have been a loser leaves Raw. Sasha Banks has nothing to offer Raw now, and would benefit going to SmackDown at this point, because WWE has a habit of saying this will be the last time we'll see this match, but you'll see it again in 6 weeks. John Cena, Randy Orton, anybody? But anyway, let's move on. We now come to the main event. The Universal Championship. Kevin Owens defending his title against Roman Reigns. I thought this was a good back and forth match. There was a bit of drama in the match. Kevin Owens retains after Chris Jericho gives him the code breaker and causes a disqualification. After the match though, Chris Jericho hands Kevin Owens the title. And it looked like it was all a setup all along. But you look at Kevin Owens' face, he's still shocked. He had no idea Chris Jericho was going to do this. And I think there's more to it, clearly. As they go to leave, Seth Rollins comes out. Reigns and Rollins take out Kevin Owens and Chris Jericho. Jericho gets put through, I guess, the Spanish announce table. I don't know, one of those. Owens tries to escape to the back. Reigns and Rollins grab him and put him through the announce table on the stage. Road Block goes off with Reigns and Rollins standing tall. Overall, Road Block was a good show with a few misses. Probably something I would go back and watch. But that was Road Block. End of the line. And I'd like to thank you for listening to this episode of the Sky Genie Show. Please like, share and subscribe to my channel. And if you can, please donate. Your donations go to improve the overall quality of the show. To my ad revenue, go fuck yourself. To my masters, I bid you farewell.